Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Find Your Model Health, the official podcast for those looking to optimize their long-term health and weight goals and understand how their body really works. I'm your host, I'm Shemaine Linney. I'm a fitness and nutrition expert, certified iridologist and biohacker, and I'm very happy to have you back with me for what's going to be a short episode. This topic comes up a lot and it's around hair loss, and one of the most common drivers of hair loss that I see is stress. So we're going to take a quick look at that. Before I go on, I must remind you that the information in these podcast episodes is for informational purposes only and should not be taken as medical advice. Please consult your health practitioner before making any lifestyle changes. Okay, so I have to correct myself. The first thing I usually see that causes hair loss is inflammation, but most inflammation is caused by stress. So just to clarify there, inflammation, but it's caused by stress. Now, hair loss, when it comes to stress, not only the inflammation aspect, but can be caused by hormonal imbalances. Stress, of course, is one of the hormones, when often identified with hair loss, also causes other hormone imbalances. So you can see how they're all intertwined. And if you can help to regulate your stress, you can help yourself grow and regenerate and have healthier hair. So I know you all know what stress is, but stress, or cortisol, is a steroid hormone, one of the glucocorticoids, and it's made in the cortex of the adrenal glands, which is then released into the blood and transported throughout the body. Cortisol is not the only stress hormone. We also have adrenaline and a few others, but for this episode, we're just looking at cortisol. So most cells have receptors on them for cortisol, which can have many different actions depending on which sort of cell it acts upon. I'm sure you all know that cortisol can be good and bad. It depends on its action or how it's required. It has to be in context. So these effects include controlling the body's blood sugar levels, regulating metabolism, acting as an anti-inflammatory. Cortisol, in context, when used or utilized properly, can be an anti-inflammatory, and then used in the wrong way can be very pro-inflammatory. Cortisol also influences memory formation, controls salt and water balance, controls magnesium, as we looked at in the last podcast episode on hair mineral analysis testing. Cortisol helps regulate blood pressure. It also helps with fetal development during pregnancy. So all of these functions make cortisol a crucial hormone to protect overall health and well-being and survival. If a dinosaur was chasing you, you'd want to have a lot of cortisol if you plan on surviving. So how do hormones and hair loss, how are they connected through stress? Well, extended stress leads to longer periods of high cortisol levels, which is pretty much all of us. We all have long extended levels of and times of stress. So while the adrenal glands are busy making extra cortisol, they make less of the hormones which support healthy hair health, and sustained high cortisol levels can also lead to other health problems and deficiencies and pull away from other aspects that are needed for healthy hair, like mineral deficiencies. Cortisol is going to pull away your minerals. Minerals are needed for hair growth. Also, you would get a decrease in cell regeneration. You need stem cells to make new hair cells. You get When you have sustained high cortisol levels, you'll also get brain fog and poor cognitive performance, so impaired mental function. Your metabolism will slow down, your insulin resistance will increase, you'll have a weakened immune system, you'll have poor sleep, you'll have eye inflammation. So, we all know this. Cortisol is known to affect the function and cyclic regulation of the hair follicle. During periods of stress, cortisol dysregulation can disrupt cell signaling, and oxidative stress can disrupt the normal transitions of the hair growth cycle. So, there were some in vitro studies that have shown that pro inflammatory cytokines, including TNF, so that's tumor necrosis factor alpha, and then IL-1, which is interleukin 1, they cause the formations of what are called vacuoles within the hair matrix cells, as well as abnormal keratinization. So some of you all heard about keratin. So abnormal keratinization of the inner root sheet and follicle bulb, and even inner root sheet. These cytokines have also been shown to disrupt follicular melanocytes and promote the formation of melanin granules within the dermal papilla. So basically, the research shows that these pro-inflammatory cytokines, they disturb the hair cycle. Not only are we stealing the minerals and driving up the inflammation, but we disturb the hair cycle in itself, which may cause premature arrest or stopping of the hair cycling overall. Specifically, these molecules can prevent the hair growth cycle from moving from the telogen phase to the anagen or growth phase. So there's 3 types of hair loss which can be associated with high stress levels. So we've got the telogen effluvium, where this is where significant stress pushes large numbers of hair follicles into a resting phase. So just take a pause for a while you're dealing with this stress, and that then within a few months will generally cause those affected hairs to fall out. So that's where you might see when you're washing or combing your hair, you're getting clumps of hair. Then we have the second type, which is called trichotillomanium. I know it sounds a bit crazy, but this is where there's an irresistible urge for someone to pull out their hair from the scalp or their eyebrows or armpits or other areas of the body. So this hair pulling can be a way of dealing with negative or uncomfortable feelings like stress, anxiety, sadness, loneliness, even boredom. And then we have alopecia areata. And this is when the body's immune system attacks the hair follicles, causing hair loss. And this is thought to be caused by a variety of factors, possibly including severe stress. Most people are going to experience the first type. So that's the telogen effluvium. That's where we've got the stress, and it's basically pulling the nutrients and the minerals away from where the hair follicles need them and putting a pause on that hair growth and that hair cycle. So that's going to be the most common one. If you wanted to test for stress-related hair loss, you could do a Dutch test, and you could also do the hair mineral analysis test like I mentioned in the last podcast episode. But this was just a quick episode to show you that direct connection between chronic, high, long-term elevated stress and how it can contribute to or cause hair loss. I hope you found it helpful. If there's anyone you think might find this information helpful, please do share. Sharing is caring, and we all really need to take responsibility for our health nowadays. especially after the last couple of years. So I wish you all good day. Have a great day. If you haven't liked or subscribed to my podcast already on your favorite platform, please do. I really appreciate it. And I'll chat to you guys real soon. Bye-bye.